It's not gonna mess it up as much because a lot of the starches have already popped. I mean, it's probably not good to eat a whole lot of it, like more than 5 or 6 pieces. Okay, let me check the sound. It's not gonna mess it up as much because a lot of the starches. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay. Good. Let me switch over to this so I can make sure that I can address the issue so we don't lock up like what happened yesterday. Okay, awesome. Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope everything is good to go. I am just making sure that I've got everything set up good. We are hunky-dory. It looks as though we are. That's good. Good. That hasn't updated yet, but that's fine. As long as that's not frozen, good to go. Okay, guys, let's go outside. Let's go feed the chickens on this. I have no idea what day. I think it's a Friday. This lovely Friday. 2020. What'd you say?
Well, here's the babies, but that's the mom in front or not. All right.
Aaron for all seasons, thank you so much for the lemon. Here's our some of our porch ducks that are hanging out. They also, you got popcorn, so they'll be super excited. So here we are. We're going to, right now, temperature is, looks like it's about 38 degrees. And you can see the sun is just blaring right there over the mountain. Not super windy, though, so that's good. And there's only a couple small chemtrails. We'll peek up there. You can see a couple of those chemtrails just zipping through. But in general, the sky is fairly nice today. I'm going to walk out this way. You can watch all the ducks as Lisa becomes the Pied Piper. And all the ducks will follow her. And they get all excited. Those are guineas that are running around there. And then once the ducks realize that she's throwing popcorn and such, they'll get super excited and just really run in there. I'm waiting for those straggler ducks. This is the reason I'm not walking in there just yet. But I will in just a minute. Dude, you're slacking, man. Come on. Come on, guys. There's a little path through the side right there that you guys can walk through. You don't have to jump. You don't have to jump this. Come on. Come on, guys. Come on through. Exciting, isn't it? So how is everyone? I am very good today. Good day. Doing some extended research on what kind of building I'm choosing to build. Got some ideas. Still haven't quite figured out the whole mix between a barn and a greenhouse, grow house. Trying that whole combination to figure out what's going to ultimately be the best bang for the buck. So I'll be able to do the most here on grounds. I definitely want to do some indoor growing. I'm kind of getting nervous about the weather, and I'd like a little bit more control of the environment. So that's why we're thinking about that. All-season bear, absolutely. That is that guy. He's one of our absolute oldest of our Muscovies, and he is probably one of the most knowledgeable here. So he knows that he's not going to get left out of anything. So he's just like, yeah. I'll just mosey on through, and if I miss the food, he'll give me some extra food. So you're absolutely 100% correct in your observation. So it's also fun if you do have lots of animals. And what we've learned is it's just really fun just to broadcast a lot of popcorn and such around. It gives them something to do. They get all excited about running around and finding the popcorn. And it's just a fun little excursion for them, so they don't get bored and they enjoy themselves. And it's pretty fun to watch because you can see how excited they get with their popcorn treats and such. And since we have so many ducks and guineas and chickens, it's just a fun way to do all that. Okay, back to the bunny barn I go. Wow, somebody brought one of my whole old flags out with them. I wonder who that was. Probably one of the bunnies, because they do that a lot here. So here we are in the bunny barn. We're going to get some bunnies some food and water, because that's what bunny... Ooh, I see some frozen waters in here, because it's kind of chilly outside. So we have an ice storm coming, or what the report definitely looks like there's an ice storm coming. So when that's the case, there is some definite things we have to plan on, because two things are going to happen. It's going to get real slippery, and it's going to be hard to go anywhere. And with those two things, those are vitally important to make sure you have a well plan in place. Because the third most important thing about a ice storm is we are probably going to lose power. So that being said, I need to make sure that we got plenty of gasoline for the generator, and the generator is sitting in the spot that is easily accessible. Because, that's normally what happens here. Hopefully, the temperature could fluctuate enough here that we might not have to worry about the ice storm, but it's always important to plan when you see the possibility of that happening. It's always important to plan. So we're actually going to head out in town in just a little bit to make sure that we have everything that we need for the next 2 or 3 days, just in case the power does go out and we can't get to the supplies that we need to have. Usually we're pretty good stacked up on most everything that we're going to need, but during ice storm days we just pay a little extra attention just to make sure that we have everything extra that we possibly are going to need. So definitely get some more milk and bread and maybe a few other things. We'll definitely make sure we're good on our gasoline for our gas power generator, because that's what actually we use. It does a really good job. It heats up, it runs most everything that we need it to run. And then I'll also check my kerosene collection. Usually I don't need to switch to the kerosene heater, but I own a handful of different styles of kerosene heater, from the stand-up kind to the jet kind. Yeah, no, thanks, man. Thanks. Anita, I'm not super worried, but it is something that I think it's always worth making sure that you've got the plan in place and you've got everything set up, because it's a lot better to be prepared than to be, panicking last minute, running around saying, man, I wish I would have done this, or man, I wish I would have done that. And since I usually go through 1 to 3 ice storms a year, it's just kind of it's old hat. But for a lot of you that this is your first time, watching me go through the farm, or I haven't really talked about it a lot, this is one of the things with homesteading that you have to also always plan for is crazy weather, especially if you get lucky enough to get a heads up on the crazy weather like we did. And any of you that's homestead or farm or live in the country, you absolutely understand what I'm saying. This is just old bag to you. You probably even have things better prepared than I do. I just, I've been slacking in the last year a little bit. So mostly because we've been very lucky and the weather has just been so not insanely crazy. Oh, so for those that are interested in the weather and had asked me a couple streams ago, somebody'd asked me about the temperature. So 90s. I went through all of my data, and then what I couldn't find, I jumped on the historic data sites that also keep track of data. And I have lived here for 15 years, and let's just say right around 15 years. I don't know the exact month count right off the top of my head, but we're going to say 15 years. I've lived here for 15 years, and I have seen, in that 15 years, I have seen 7 days that were 90 or above. So if that gives you a perspective, so 1 day every other year. Now that's actually not how it worked out. Most of the times we're in little pockets, like there was 2 or 3 or 1. That was kind of the pockets of the 90s, but that's 90s are very rare here. And we've had, on average, we average 106 days below freezing a year. So that's the data that I've been tracking for the last 15 years. So it is cold or nice, because me and cold maybe don't have the same agreement. Cold or nice is what it is more often than unbelievably hot, because I don't like 90s. I can't, besides like a hot tub or a jacuzzi or a spa, I can't think of any reason why I would really like anything to be in the 90s, because that's just way too hot for me. So that's here on Flat Top Mountain here in southern West Virginia. That's about what that's how the temperature goes with that. So ice storms. Now let's go back to the ice storms. I usually see an ice storm every year, at least once. So that being said, that's kind of interesting. So ice storms are far more common here than our 90-degree days. And so for those of you that might be a little scared about moving to Appalachia or just wanting to get a better idea of that stuff. Oh, Crete, that's awesome that you'll be getting chickens. Chickens are super fun. My advice is make sure you only start off with a couple. And the reason is because once you get chickens, there's this thing called chicken math. And you get really good at adding more chickens to your flock. It gets really crazy. Like you start off with just a few, and then you look back and you're wondering why you've got 70 some chickens running around your yard. Because chicken math is real. So is duck math. Because, duck math, you start off with, about this many ducks, and then all of a sudden you turn around and you're just covered up with ducks. So, Mambo Mario, thank you for the follow. And thank you for the ice cream. That is so awesome of you. And I believe you are on my Out the Window Weather channel. So if you're interested in to see other shows that I do and more in-depth things, since you're on here on D Live, thank you. Oh, the ducks will absolutely love the ice creams. Thank you so much. I will convert that so that the ducks will enjoy them. So if you are here on D Live, and this is my most farming channel and such like that, but if you'd like to see some of the other stuff, if you jump over to X Dr. Firefly, that's where we do. I do some other type of lessons, and I do some other things on that particular channel. This is the one that's just kind of the Out the Window Weather channel is the one that's dedicated for let's feed the chickens. and dedicated to all the crazy weather and adventures that happen here down in southern West Virginia. But again, thank you so much. All the lemons and ice creams and everything like that, they are so helpful for me here at the farm, and especially now with their being switched over to BTT and things of that sort. That is, I am super grateful, and thank you guys. And Mambo Mario, if you're interested, if you're interested, send me a email at xdrfirefly@gmail.com. And this is actually to anybody out there. If you're interested in having some seeds this year, if you send me an email with your address and just tell me you would like some seeds, I will zip you guys off I will mail you some heirloom seeds or some locally grown seeds that we grow here in southern West Virginia, or from folks I know that grow seeds in southern West Virginia. And I can help you guys spread the love that way. So no cost. I just need to know your address so that I just know a place to mail them off to. And the only thing I ask in return is if you have an awesome yield and you end up having a lot of great fruit or a lot of great vegetables from those seeds, if you mail me back just a few seeds so I can keep spreading this on, and we can just keep spreading this on to other people. And that's pretty much what all I ask, is we got these awesome heirloom seeds out there, and I just want to have as many people spread the seeds as possible and grow some food and learn how to do some stuff. That's kind of the plan here. So since folks are new and such, so yeah, you're welcome. And again, if you want something a little more geared towards where you live, tell me what zone you live in or how you plan on growing. Like if you're going to do container gardening, or if you're going to do in the ground gardening, or if you're going to do like hydroponics, aeroponics, or anything of that sort, then I can actually really tailor the seeds down to closer to what you want. Or if there's something like, I really want to grow some squash this year, or I really like some corn, or I'd really like just some flowers. If you let me know that kind of stuff too, in the email, and I was like, and for those that have already given me that, it looks like probably about the end of February is when I'm going to be able to get all the seeds together, and I'll start mailing them out. I'll start mailing them out about the end of February, because that's when I'm still asking some of my friends to that's got some stuff that I don't have. There's some cool flowers. There's some cool other stuff that they have that I don't, that they said that by the end of February they'll be able to give me all those seeds, and so we'll be able to do all the big sharing. We'll be able to do all the big sharing and such then. So I also belong to a seed library down here. So I do a lot of sharing and giving and taking with the seed library. So that's usually why I can find just about anything at the seed library. And I think it's awesome. And however I can, and this also helps me support the seed library. So, and plus all of you get to grow some stuff. And if you have any questions about growing, you need some starter soil or anything like that, on right there, I believe it is my website. It's my nonprofit website. You scroll over to worksheets, and there's a whole free class on just download the worksheet, and it'll teach you how to make your own starter soil, so you don't got to spend all of that money at Lowe's, and how you can make it for pennies on the dollar just by buying a handful of the right stuff, and save a whole lot of money and make some really, really awesome seed starter. So, and if you happen to be down in southern West Virginia in, I believe it'll be February, the end of February, I'll be teaching the seed starter class at the local library, in the library in Bluefield, West Virginia. The Craft Memorial Library is it. And it's a free class, so anybody's welcome to come on to that class. So that's my little crazy spiel today about seeds and why we all should grow those. And even if you just live in an apartment, I can actually teach you how to grow seeds sitting on your desk. And there's some pretty awesome stuff you can grow on your desk, even if you've got a brown thumb or you've not grown anything before. So there's some awesome stuff that we can do together. Anyways, all that being said, back here to feeding everyone and enjoying the lovely day. Actually, don't know why I got this, because water is what I'm trying to get to next. And I don't know where my water is, so we're going to have to go grab a bucket of water. So let's go head on over to the bucket of water and such. So the one thing, I think I talked about this, those that watched yesterday's stream, Hey man, how's it going? You'll have to come, Matt, you're going to have to come over here sometime and come visit. There's some cool stuff I'd like to explain to you what we're doing and such. So, but it's good seeing you chit-chatting on here. So, Matt is one of my buddies that's also from down here in southern West Virginia. He's a really, really awesome dude. So, but anyways, Matt, yeah, you'll have to swing down this way sometime. I was going to get I'm getting water. That's what I was doing before I get preoccupied. And those of you that are watching here on Facebook, because I think there's at least 2 of you now that has watched us on Facebook, if you guys want to come over and join a really fun streaming community, swing on over here to dlive.tv. So, most any day is good for me, Matt. So, I think you still have my phone number. And if not, you can just send me, I don't know, or you can just stop by. You know where I live. It's usually cool. I'm usually here almost every day of the week. So I don't have a really reason to not be here. But yeah, if you are on Facebook or anything like that and you want to you really like watching people stream or you're just interested in that kind of stuff, come on over to DLive. It's dlive.tv. Where I'm at is dlive.tv /xDrFirefly. And my stream on Facebook, you guys only get this show. But when I stream, I'm usually streaming 24/7. Usually it's my farm with some podcast or Alan Watts or some fun stuff in the background. And then during on the screen, you see the stuff to the left and right, the chicken barn and the hay field. And then this main screen where I'm talking right now, this is normally just like an overshot of the entire farm so that we can see what's going on and some other stuff like that. But I just stream this on Facebook because I know there's a lot of you that either don't have any other streaming service or you can't, and just trying to reach out to as many of you guys. And I don't know, it's just fun having you guys join me on these fun adventures of feeding the chickens. And if this is your first time watching, I do this every day at 15:30. For those on the eastern seaboard, that is 3:30. But I do 15:30 because I have my international clock set up there in the corner, and it makes it easy for everyone. So yeah, it's cold. Ice storm coming, or at least ice storm for me coming, and just getting everything prepared because that's what we do. Oh, water is getting full. I'm going to fill up 2 of these today, just so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'll spin around because you can hear it, but you can't see it. So I have a cistern here. It holds about 30,000 gallons. I've got a pump in there. What's great, the cistern never freezes. I just pump the water out of there, put it onto the barrels, and then we carry the barrels to the bunny barn. I found that this works the really best, so you don't have to worry so much about these barrels freezing solid or any of the major stuff trying to store it inside. So yeah, it sucks that I got to carry it over there every day or every other day, but this slows it down so I don't have to worry so much about freezing, because last night most of the feeders and waterers looked like they were pretty frozen. So, and as the advice I was giving you yesterday about buying the glass containers or the plastic stuff at Goodwill for your water stuff, that's great. The one big thing you do need to keep in mind is to make sure that during colder months you don't fill them all the way, to give the ice a little bit of room to expand. But again, that's why I still like them better than most of the commercial feeders and waterers that you can get, because if you overfill a lot of the feeders and the commercial feeders and waterers, they'll ultimately end up breaking. And then you have to buy them another one, where at least if your glass that you bought at Goodwill, if it ends up breaking, it's annoying, but it was cheap. And saving money is something that we are always looking at doing, because every time you save $1, that's pretty much the same as making $1. So I missed Owen today. Those that are here on DLive, if he had anything interesting to say. I saw he had a guest or something. I was busy trying to figure out some research about building and such. That's what I spent most of this morning doing. So I'll go back and catch his replay. Oh, speaking of replays, this is pretty awesome. I just found this out. So in my link below here on DLive, or I think it's on DLive, Twitch, and Mixer. In my links below, I just started sorry, I got winded there for a second. I just started a library page. Okay, cool, thank you. Bear for All Seasons. I will definitely jump on and watch that replay. I'm glad it was good. But I just started a library page, which is LBRY. And it's library.com / I think right now it's set up as Mavis Manor. It's going to be changed to Mavis Pharmacy soon. But it's also in the link below. But all of these, all of my shows are now being uploaded to there. So like, since this is episode 31, if you want to see some of the past shows, you'll be able to see them on there. Also my little gaps that I have, like when I just do the regular streaming of just my farm and such, those will also be on there too. So as soon as I can figure out how to categorize everything, I'll group everything in a nice playlist. But I also have some of my older stuff on there. So like when I was teach people how to pick elderberries, how to grow tomatoes, how to clone tomatoes, all of that's going to be on there as well. So those of you that are just getting tired of the craziness on YouTube and such like this, I found a way to use this program, and it'll be a great place to store all of my information and all of my past stuff. And what's great is it's free. Like, it's just a free thing like YouTube. So everybody can get on there. You can watch all the old stuff. You can see the cool stuff that's there. So if you miss this one and it just happens to get deleted off the replay, you'll know that you can just, as long as you're following me on the library page, you'll be able to watch that video in the near future. So that's pretty cool. I thought I'd set it up, and then it wasn't working right. And then all of a sudden I checked it today and everything was golden. So it's just a good day. So it's just been an all-around good day today, which I'm super excited about. Right now I'm looking for a container so I can go water all my bunnies. But we'll see if Lisa's using it in the bunny barn, and we will jump into the bunny barn see if she's using the chicken barn. And we'll jump into the chicken barn and say hi to everyone, since the show is about feeding chickens. And most of the time I am just feeding bunnies. Okay, yeah, I'll have to check that out. That's interesting. I've heard different things. I think I might get that joke, but I will check it out. Thank you for that. I'll be interested in seeing that. Okay. Here we are in the chicken barn. All of my chicken modulars, all of these get moved outside, and during the summer months, and the chickens get to free range a little bit inside a safe enclosed area. And then as you can see, there's a lot of ducks in here also just hanging out. And if you look right there, and there's a pretty decent delay, but if you look there, you'll be able to see me in the corner waving at myself, and you'll get to see it, which is not super exciting, but it's just also silly. So you said you need water? Okay. And you'll get another thing of water so that she can have some water in here. Then we'll get the water container so that there. Just what I was doing, the waving was just to prove that that other camera is here on my farm, and you can see it in all the directions. Plus, you get to see how crazy all the delays work on the internet, because the internet is absolutely full of delays. Those with the update about my modem and how lightning destroyed my modem 3 days ago. So my backup modem is still kicking very well. Just ordered another one, so it should be here in the next day or so. So those that know the story and were interested, that is That is the up-to-date information. So those that didn't know the story, we had a crazy electric storm the other day. Lots of lightning. It struck the telephone pole just outside my house at about 1 in the morning, and I was playing around on, I'm not sure whose stream I was on. I was probably on the Ugly Jews stream. And I was playing around on that, and then all of a sudden, a fireball just shot out from my modem across my room, and poof, no more internet. So luckily it took out my router. Luckily it took out my modem and not my router, because my router is a very expensive gaming router, because I have lots of devices that connect to it, and my modem is just it's still not cheap, but it's still a lot more inexpensive piece of device. I'm also going to be doing some research, folks. One of my friends just showed me how to use the cell coverage and such for off-grid high-speed internet using the Nighthawk, the portable Nighthawk. So I'm going to try to work that out and get that all set up. And if that works well, I'll teach you folks how to do that, because one of the things, as much as I love living off-grid, or trying to live off-grid, I should say, one of the things about being the desire to slowly get more and more off-grid is nerves about, what am I going to do about the internet? And this option I watched may actually be the answer. So my friend told me a little bit about it. I watched some videos on it as well. And if that's the case, I will snag one up and I will do some research so that we can see if it becomes a true viable option for some of you folks. Because, as I've mentioned before, I'm here to try to make sure that I can help you guys that are stuck in the city, that want to get out here in the country, how we can find the most easiest way to do the transition without it being super stressful. I want you to live a spectacular, luxurious life in the country and not have to worry about having a typical 9-to-5 job, or not have to worry about going hungry or losing your house or anything like that, but how to live an awesome life in a community that you want to live in, surrounded by people that's got your same values, their same morals, and just recreating community the way it needs to be, because that is where we're at. And that is the commitment I made to all of you on New Year's, that I am going to do community building and that we are going to make the world better. And I'm starting right now with teaching folks every step of the way and doing everything I can to help you guys with any questions that you may have and any things of that sort. Because I want a better community. I want a better world for all of us. And we can do it because we have the knowledge and we have the willpower and we have the people now. So it is totally possible. And someone just has to be the cheerleader or the megaphone, however you want to view it. That is my role. Owen talks a lot about being alpha and beta and all that other kind of stuff. I don't subscribe. I have a background in interpersonal relationships and studying people. And while I think that's all interesting and that's fun and it's good for labels, what I fall more back on, everyone's got a strength and everyone's got a weakness. You should know your strength, and when it's time for your strength, you should be shining and pushed forward and take your strength to pull everyone else up. And if it's your weakness, sometimes it's best just to step back and allow someone else that is super knowledgeable or that just knows more than you do to take the lead. And so if you want to put that into the beta, Bravo, Alpha, Charlie mindset, I just say sometimes it's good to be alpha, sometimes it's good to just sit back and be that person that watches what happens around you. So, because I know that there's times that someone starts talking and I am just enthralled by what they have to say. And even if I've got an opinion or something, I just shut my mouth because, man, am I going to learn more by keeping my mouth shut than I am going to learn about asking or putting in my opinion. So, and I will tell you, for those of you that are younger men out there, or even younger women, that is a very, very hard place to get to. It took me a very, very long time to get to the particular point on learning when to keep my mouth shut. And I'm still not perfected it yet, but I'm working. I'm working on that. So, always remember that every day is another opportunity to make yourself just a little bit cooler, a little bit better, and a little bit more helpful. Because if you don't know what your purpose here on earth is yet, you do know that your purpose here is to make the world a little bit better. You just don't know how yet. But we are here to serve and to enhance other people's lives. Sometimes it's being a parent and making sure that you raise the coolest kids in the entire world. Sometimes it's being a child and making sure that your parents are the coolest people that they can be. They may be a doctor, a teacher, a preacher, or your job may just be to go around and clean up garbage and trash because you know that is something you are awesome at doing, and you're making someone's life healthier and cleaner by finding a new place to dispose of the stuff that they may not have the time to properly dispose of. So whatever you do, friends, your job is important, and I thank you for doing it. So man, I will bear for all seasons. When you are ready to start streaming here on D Live, you can just let me know. I will be more than happy to help you with whatever you can help me with. And we can help each other. We can help each other. That would be great. I will give you some advice that I've learned, and I would be more than happy to learn from you as well. And I think that especially that's one of the things that I love about this D Live community is all of us together have done great. Like folks like the Ugly Jew and so, yes, you're absolutely right. I'm glad that Owen came over here and brought all the bears to the D Live community because it helped add a bit of camaraderie that certain aspects of the D Live community could really use, and it really just boosted all of us up, and it just helped out super, super well. Now, I've been following Owen for a long time outside of the D Live community, but I had been on D Live for quite a few months, almost a year before Owen had. But anyways, what I was saying is here on D Live, any way I can help out, I'd love to help you out with however I can. Need some advice. I know a lot about the technical aspect of stuff if you're going to do it here on your phone or if you're going to do it on your PC. So I do suggest making sure you have a Discord, because Discord or a Slack, if you don't necessarily like Discord, a Discord or a Slack, those two together gives you places for people off camera. But things like, with all the help from people like Lift the Veil and all the help that I got from the Ugly Jew and how they really just helped me grow my channel and just, let me call in. And when I called in, just talked me up and listened to actually what I had to say. That was so helpful. So make sure that it's called Lift the Veil. Make sure you check out that channel and make sure you check out the Ugly Jew. And there's tons of great channels here on D Live that you can check out. I like the Infinite Plane. There's some the Wandering Ranger is a fun one. There's just some fun people that actually game, but you can actually learn a lot from just talking with them while they're gaming and such. So just even if it's not necessarily in the truth movement aspect, or it maybe not in the type of thing that you're used to following, you'd be surprised there are some awesome, great allies that are on here on DLive that do a variety of things. So, and we've got a lot of bigger YouTubers that's moved over here that have that give out a lot of great gravy to listen to. So this is becoming the place to be, and I am super thankful for everyone that watches and everyone that's helped me throughout the course of the years, or the course of the month, course of the year or so that I've been on here. It's been spectacular. So, but yes, anybody that's starting a DLive channel or anything of that sort, if you need my help with that, to help spread the message, to help get out there and just that kind of stuff, find me on Discord or send me a message on here or send me an email, and I will help you guys with what I know. So as you see, if you're watching on Out the Window Weather, that's just I'm using my phone. If you're watching this on X Dr. Firefly, you'll see the whole layout that I have, that I go through, and I use OBS to set up those layouts. And if you've paid attention to any of my things, you also know that I don't do anything snazzy or fancy or anything other than, a scroller and some of the other cool little tools that I use. But I do know how to do some of that other fancy stuff. I'm just lazy. And so helping you might actually convince me to do some more of that. So that's why I also put that offer out there to you guys. And plus, if you do have a DLive channel and you're still growing, it takes a little while to grow. Don't worry. If you're on if you're on Twitch or you're on Mixer, I don't know enough about those platforms, but I'll help you there too. I'd like that if you guys came over to DLive, because we have a great family here, but if not, I'll still help you on there. It's all about helping folks, guys. It's all about us working together, teaching each other the skills that we have. And if we're really, really good at something and we can do it faster and the other person just doesn't have the time to learn those skills, make sure that we share the skills that we have with other folks, so that we all get as much information out there as possible, so we fix it all, because it is fixable. We can together we can save. We don't need to save the world. It's already been saved. We can just improve it. We've already won. Let's start off with that. As bad as the world may seem, as bad as every time you turn on the TV and you hear about the horrible things, you hear about the craziness that's going on with the government. Like the president, don't like the president, either side. What you need to understand is we as people have already won. We've already beat them. They're running away scared. That's why all the extreme stuff is going on right now. That's why all of the craziness, this clown world we live in, it is so clownish, because this is that last ditch effort. If you know anything about the garden world, this is that last different bloom of their just exploding of craziness, the explosion of the flower, trying to attract as much stuff as possible, because they know that fall is coming. They know that the time of rest and that all of that is on there. They know that they've already had their big hoopla. So it's our time to shine now. We are going to get in there and we are going to rebuild the world in a way that is great for everyone. So, and what's great is we're all gonna give a little bit. We're all gonna plant a different seed to this new garden that we're creating, and we're gonna grow together. And sometimes some of these weeds may have to be picked out, and some of the stuff may not jive, and we may say, "Here's another garden over there. That's probably a better place for you." But there's gonna be ways that our gardens, even if someone's not in the same garden as us. Or as Owen also says, you're in the wrong saloon. I use the term garden. Sometimes we can cross-pollinate between gardens. We can keep our separation. We can cross-pollinate between gardens. We can learn great things, and we can grow and make everything better by just knowing how to help, and sometimes how to not help, how to just make everything, let it be. I'm not explaining it very well right this very second. I can usually explain this a lot more tastefully or tactfully, but I hope you guys kind of understand what I'm saying in a nutshell. Okay, let's go over and make sure everything is going very well over in the bunny barn, or in the chicken barn. So, and this might be shocking to many of you, or you may have not realized this, but I am a ordained minister. I am the deacon of a church called the Tabernacle of Understanding, and I have been the deacon of that church for I think 12 or 15 years now. I lost track a while ago. Actually, no, it's older. It's 15 or 20 years. 15 or 20 years now. So sometimes when I sound like I'm getting preachy, it's probably that's the reason, is that this sometimes becomes my pulpit, and trying to enlighten the world sometimes just gets me a little caught up trying to make everything because I know, look at that sky behind me. Get out of my way. Whew, that is a beautiful popcorn sky. Let's get me out of the way and let's just look at that popcorn sky for a second, because, wow. Man, is that pretty. Let's see if I can find a way so we're not got some wires in my way either. And we can go like this. Oh, close enough. Man, that's a beautiful popcorn sky. Give it just another second. Love the sky. Love looking at it every day. One of the most beautiful things that you can always see is just a spectacular sky. And this is definitely one of them. Okay. That's another thing, guys. Make sure you always take time to smell the roses or stop for a few minutes and just stare up at the sky. We live in such fast-paced world that we forget the beauty that's always around us. And, look at that sky. It's just so interesting. I know what it means. It means snow. But it's still really pretty. It honestly means snow and ice. That's usually when I see that sky. Not usually. When I see that sky, there is going to be rain and a pretty decent amount of weather right behind it. But man, is it spectacular. A spectacular sky, friends. So, I also want to add, since I was on there, a little bit of a political rant. I get asked all the time what my political affiliation is, if I'm left-wing or right-wing. And I used to tell people that I call myself an alt-right hippie, but I kind of fall into the category now. I just call myself a duck. I have two wings, and it kind of depends on the issue which one I'll flex at the particular moment. So I am the duck that has the both wings. So if someone asks for my political affiliation, I'm a duck. So right wing, left wing, they probably are both true depending on each individual situation or scenario. So, and those that also might be interested, just to add a little bit to that. So at one particular point, I was an anarchist. I was a libertarian. I was absolutely an SJW back in college. Now that was in the 90s, but I was an SJW. So I have definitely played the thing. I have never I have never voted for a major political candidate. I have always vote third parties, but I've done that for different reasons. But yes, going back to Bear from All Seasons, it does look like snow. I think the sky, a lot of times, will give us a hint. Let me look up that just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. The sky kind of tells us what to expect in the future. And so we look at that, and it looks like snow piling up, and it just looks beautiful, and just a little heads up about snow and such like that. So I think nature, a lot of times, will give us the answer before we even ask. Because there's where you can see where, this particular parts of the sky, absolutely nothing. And then as we slowly head a little bit to the west, you will see where it just gets stronger and thicker, whiter, and more fluffy. Until we reach over here, till we get to the sun. And then it definitely has that, getting coated with a blanket of snow. Or it kind of looks like a frozen windshield too. If you kind of look right there, it kind of looks like we're looking through some ice. So that is what I am seeing, friends. That is my prediction. And that is how I will tell you that the truth is that is a way sometimes that I predict the weather, or why I have my other channel, which is called Out the Window Weather, because I try to use the sky and all of the tools that nature gives us to figure out what I'm going to do for tomorrow or the future. So, well, friends, it's getting close. My phone, like normal, is starting to go slow on the juice. Got to bring this can back to the house. But thank you all for following me today and joining me on this fun adventure. Again, those that are interested, every day at 15:30, we go out and feed the chickens, because I have to do it every day, so might as well bring you guys with me. All the past shows are going to be available on the library, lbyr.com/Mavis Manor, or Mavis Pharmacy, as soon as I get a chance to switch it over. So all the past shows will be on there. And you guys are all welcome to just hit me up if you ever have a question or just want to talk about anything. I'm usually always around, or can usually get to my phone, and if you need help with anything, I'm here for you. Well, anyways, friends, it's Dr. Firefly, the Baron, or Justin, whatever you'd like to call me. You have yourself a wonderful rest of the day. Till tomorrow, my friends. Adios.